Hey everyone. Okay, so I'm starting the live stream. Hey everyone. Okay, so I didn't share the link, right? So I think on the first live stream, I won't share the link on Twitter, maybe later. But I want to do it, right? I want to show you how do I chart, right? How do I find liquidity? I see you are guys starting to enter, so I want to learn liquidity, right? So ASOMA, AFX King training. So okay, so can you see my just the first time live stream? Can you see my screen good? Right. So I just want to share it in Twitter and Telegram just before I start. So we are 3 minutes to the market open. On this live streams, I will mainly focus on NQ. Okay, so NQ is the only asset I day trade. Oh, Eric, welcome from the previous live stream. So I will focus on NQ. So let's give you a short explanation on NQ. Just a second, I will share the link. I think it will be good to share the link in Telegram. So let's share it. And okay, I see slowly people are starting to get in. Just a second. I want. Okay, so looks like people are starting to get in. Okay, so thank you so much. So okay, so let's do a small explanation of the NQ. Okay, I will share the link later. Now, what do we have over here? Okay, so when I'm trading, I'm doing analysis from the higher time frame, right? From the higher time frame to the lower time frame. So if this is the higher time frame, then let's do it like this. So if this is the higher time frame, let's say we are in a stairs, right? And this is our stairs, right? So this will be the higher time frames. If the higher time frames doesn't give any view, then we can get to the lower time frames. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to understand the first steps of the higher time frames. Only once understanding the higher time frame, right, the bias, your target, we can step into the lower time frames stairs, right? So this is how I explain it. So firstly, I want to look on the higher time frame and look if I have a good bias or not. Okay, so now the market has opened, and just let's give you a small explanation before the market opens. So right before the markets run away. Now what we have over here, we have a very impulsive move, right? If you've watched my video on the AL model 1, you understand that after impulsive move, we want to see some sort of continuation, right? After we are seeing such an impulsive move, we have two things. We can continue up with an accumulation, or we can give retail a chance to buy and we go towards the stops, right? So this is what happens over here. So we have this impulsive move. Now we have accumulation. Now we want to think where retail are buying at this zone, right? So currently on the higher time frame, we can see this. The first support area would be this area, right? So this area looks good for for retail to buy. So let's say price drops to this area, okay? Price drops to this area, then we are creating, retail are starting to place their bids over here with a stop at the lows, right? So if price goes towards this area, we can expect price to tank towards the lows. Now, what this means? This means actually that we have a very good area that we can dance, right? We can dance this area until going towards the upside, right? Because if price spends its time above the resistance area, sorry, support area, then it's not letting retail enter in. So we can take a fib from the low to the high, and we can see that price is accumulating at premium, right? So if we are accumulating at this zone, right, then we are actually running away from retail, right? By running away from retail, I mean we are not giving them the position they are seeking. They drop to this area. Okay, so my bias is doing an expansion from this area. Why I want to see an expansion towards the upside from this area? Basically because we have an impulsive move, we are in a bullish order flow, right? On the daily, on the weekly, we can clearly see we are in an expansion, right? So in expansion, we don't want to short, we just want to long until it doesn't work, okay? Nothing too complicated, okay? When you see price just continuously printing new highs, there is no point in shorting it, right? Just asking to be stopped out. Now on the 4 hour, actually we see price run. So on the 4 hour, we can see what I explained, right? So we don't want to see price drop to this area. We have witnessed an accumulation at premium in the 4 hour. And also we have taken this low, right? So this low acts as a sell side, right? We can see it. So on the 4 hour, we are expecting price to continue to the upside. Now let's drop to the 1 hour. What do we see over here? Okay, so price actually runs away from us, so I don't know if it will offer us a trade. Okay, so as you see, price was bumped before the session open, so I don't know if it will give us the trade I want to see, but let's see. So what happened on the 1 hour? Okay, so we have this bullish market structure, right? Now we've taken the lows, right? So we had a bullish market structure, retail was seeking buys, and now after taking this low, right, retail are starting to seek sells, right? So they want price to go down and they are looking for sells. Now we have this resistance area, right? Quite clear resistance area. Now retail are selling this resistance area, right? They are seeing price has returned to their selling POI. They are starting to sell this resistance area, placing their buy side target at the high. Right, so we have buy side targets at the high. So retail were selling over here, right, like this, right, placing the stop losses at the high. Now this means that we have liquidity at the highs. Same, right? If we have another resistance area. Now, if price goes towards this area, right, as you see, it's also accumulating, right? Retail are selling the resistance and also accumulating buy side at the all-time high. Now, by this simple analysis of the SNRs, support, right, resistance, we can understand our buy side targets. Now, how can we catch this one, right? Because we have done the manipulation, right? So this is the resistance, okay? We have done the manipulation. What do I mean manipulation? We have made retail think that their POI works, right? Great. Now this is manipulation. Now we've arrived to this area again. So if this is our first target, now this would be our second one. I prefer aiming to this one, right, with the day trade, because this has the most of the liquidity. Most of the liquidity rests at this high, and I will scale my position, not scale, I will run my position, some of my position towards this high also. Okay, so let's see how can we catch this one. Okay, so I see price is pumped on the market open. We have in 24 minutes a news, right, folder news. Okay, so I will just share the live on Telegram. Okay, so I've shared in Telegram. Okay, so as explained, we've taken this low. Now retail have sold over here, right? Clearly sold over here, right? So it's creating liquidity at the high, right? These cells are creating liquidity at this high, right? Let's do it in a beautiful way. Okay, so retail are selling the support, so resistance area, placing their stop loss at the first swing high above it, right? This will be the first swing high, this one actually, but this one pops. Okay, so this one actually. Okay, so let's see how can we catch this. Okay, so I see people are starting to enter from the Telegram. I've already explained why I'm aiming towards this target on the higher time frame, so you should watch it again. But so these are my targets for the newcomers, right? This high mainly is my target. Okay, so let's make this as a black, because this is my target for NQ for today. Why? Because price is manipulated from this area, returned again, made this semi-resistance, right, faking a bearish bias. Now I want to see price take this high. Good day, Dylan. Now I want to see price take this high, right, aiming towards this high, mainly because a lot of retail are selling over here and placing the stop loss at the high. Now I'm trying to see if I have a possible position to take on it. Now the market had opened very aggressively. We have news in 20 minutes, right? So we're in news at 10 o'clock. If you have any questions, you are welcome to ask, right? So we have news over here. This point of the live is actually chatting, right? A lot of new doesn't really understand advanced liquidity, so ask your questions and try to learn from it. So as you see, I didn't rush in longs on the market open, basically because price loves doing a manipulation, right? Let's say these are my targets, so price, let's say we are approaching some sort of a target, price likes doing a manipulation before reaching it, right? Like you see over here. Price is constantly doing this manipulation, right? So you can see all of this bearish manipulation, right? You can see we have this trend line, right? So retail are starting to sell. You can see we have this resistance or point, right? So retail are starting to sell. You can see we have this bearish market structure, right? bearish market structure that retail want to sell, right? So we have a lot of bearish signs that we are going to take this high. Okay. So what I want to see over here, let's do a small analysis. So on the 1 hour, we don't really have a point to, I need to find it, right? Let's see. So on the 15-minute, we have this SNR, right? So let's do it like this. So when I'm taking a trade, okay, let's say I want to take a trade, like I can expect price to go up from here, okay? It's possible, okay? It's possible because this is my target. Now, it's possible for price to go up from here. But do I want to take my long from here? No, right? I want to take my long from a PY, right? A PY that is actually liquidity, right? So when I see something like this, a bullish market structure, that a lot of retail are actually buying the support area, then it means that we have liquidity at the low, right? So my preferable long would be sweeping this point, right? Giving me a confirmation for a long, right? What is a confirmation for a long? Retail selling over here, and then I will enter my position towards the buy side, right? If price just goes up straight from here, then we don't have, right? If price goes up from here, then we don't have a good position on this one. Can you see my live good, right? Because it's alerting me a problem signs. So no one, so you can, I can see anyone writing in the chat. So please write me if you can see the live stream good or not. So as I said, right. Okay, great, Dave. Thank you. Okay, so as I said, so there are things that can happen. Okay, right. Price can go up from here, but for taking a position, I want to see price dig towards the sell side and then accumulate a position. Okay, so there are things I want to see, and there are things, right? There are things I want to see for a position, and there are right. This doesn't have to happen, right? Going towards the high needs to happen. Going towards this low doesn't need to happen. Okay, so I need to differentiate between these two. So price is dipped towards the support area, creating sell side PY, right? At the low. I want to see a sweep of the low. After seeing a sweep of the low, right, like this, we can take a fib from the high to the low, and once price will dig towards this point, we will enter on the accumulation towards the buy side, something like this. This is what I want to see for a position. Okay, so let's wait. I don't tend to go below the 5 minute, right? So it's not the best for the live streams, right? But it's good for my patient and to my wallet. So let's see. So this is the PY, want to accumulate over here and go up. Looks really good target, right? Since we didn't take any major high, right? These are the major highs, this doesn't really matter, right? Actually looks good, right? To accumulate over here a bit and go up. And we also have news, right, in 15 minutes over here. So I hope it won't run towards our target immediately, right? Yes, of course, Eric. I won't trade the 1 minute. If I'd say, hey Oliver, Oliver, nice to see you. I actually didn't thought you will see it because I didn't post it on Twitter. So I'm preparing for a long towards this high, right? After taking the sell side, if it will take this one, right? So if I see these live streams, okay, so because I don't really trade below the 1 minute, right? Most of the live streams are actually scalping. So if I see it's not really suiting the live stream, so I try to do it in another way, right? Keep the Telegram and all of this. So, right, we have this resistance area, very good target, very good buy side target. Okay, so price is starting, right? Price is accumulating over here, right? Making liquidity at the low. Okay. Dilvelani, it doesn't work like this because think of this now, right? So maybe this, why do you mean since due to the weekends? It doesn't matter the weekends, right? Because if I'm a retailer, right, I'm seeing this move from the resistance, so I want to place the stop loss at the previous swing high, right? So let's say I want to short this point, right? I want to short this area, then I will put my stop loss at the previous swing high, right? It doesn't matter if it happened last week, right? The week before. Think of liquidity like battle between retail and market makers, okay? So this resistance area that you see, right, let's mark it in. This resistance area you see is more like a bait, right? So retail are seeing price rejecting from this resistance area is actually fake, right? Because it will go against them. This whole move is a manipulation, right? That makes retail place a lot of stops at the highs, right? So we are approaching the sell side, right? Cleaning the low. Okay, so I see we've cleaned the low. Okay, so yes, we've cleaned the low. Now, what changes the strategy actually is that and it may fail, okay, but we are aiming only towards this high, right? So if, as you said, price needs to go down, then it will take the high and then it can go down, right? But it's worth a try, right? Because price is rejecting from this resistance, it actually looks good in my eyes. Now price is taking the sell side, right? Price is taking the sell side. Now what I want to see for entering a long would be a return to this place, a manipulation, and then I will enter the trade. Now since we have news in 9 minutes right over here, so price may just bypass us, right? What do I mean bypass? Since the news are strong, then price can just completely go up, right, without giving us a position. But we don't change our plans because of news, right? We wait for a proper confirmation. Now what will be the proper confirmation? Now after taking, right, we have this bullish market structure, right? Then now it's bearish, right? The bearish market structure is bearish, right? Turned into bearish market structure. Now we can take the fib from the high to the low like this, right? So what do we understand from this fib, right? We understand that if retail are entering sell positions, right? I went to the 1 5 minute, 1 2 minute. Now we understand that if retail are entering sell position, then price needs to accumulate at this area, right? Why price needs to accumulate at this area? Because let's say I'm a retailer, okay, I want to short over here, then my first swing high would be over here, right? Then it will produce me very bad RR. On the other side, right, if retail will enter short like this, then it will produce them much more higher RR. So only if price closes at this point, right, I want to see a close at this premium zone, then I want to see some sort of rejection, then I will enter the long over here, right? So let's see what will happen. Okay. Actually, streaming it out makes it harder a bit. So let's see how it will happen. So yes, all of the things needed for I didn't manage to read. So yes, you think it will go towards the high, right? I see. I think too, right? Now, may the news will actually go towards this high without us, but longing over here like this without my proper confirmation, right? Like this is my model, right? My model is to wait for this to happen, right? For this retracement. Right only after this retracement I can enter along towards the buy side. Just betting on the news. Yes, of course, if I will enter a trade, it's only towards this high. You see this, I just marked this high as the all-time high. This is my target for today, because price can just, exactly as you said, just go up and bleed down. So I won't enter before the news because I don't have my confirmation, unfortunately, right? Because this 5 minute candle even if it will go towards this side, it will close only on the news. So I won't have enough confirmation. So I want to see again price return to this point, reject, and then I will enter the long towards the high. So let's wait. Patient game now. Anybody besides Vivir has anything to say, something to ask? Meanwhile, we are waiting. Kiran, you are also looking at this one, right? It's like we've talked on the Discord. Yes, like on the Discord, we are actually, I said that we are going to meet all-time highs, but I really don't have the safety that we just push like this, right? Since we are on Monday. Great. So 5 minutes for the news. Like with implementing advanced liquidity, okay, so advanced liquidity, okay, it's actually the understanding of patterns, right? If we have a pattern, now advanced liquidity actually connects emotions with patterns in order to understand your next target, right? So if we understand that this high is our next target, right, this buy side, now, and we've taken the sell side, now you can implement all of your models, right? Let's say you are trading, I don't know what's hot right now, CRT, IFGs, and all of this, right? Now, let's say now we've taken the sell side and this is your buy side, and you want to trade IFGs, for example, you can take this FG, right? Take this FG, wait for it to flip, and then you can enter a long towards your buy side, right? Because you can actually understand the levels you're aiming for, right? And you're not just marking any FG out there, okay? So let's just leave it for the example. So after price flips it, right, then you can actually enter the long, right? But my confirmation would be a return to this zone, right? Let's mark the resistance of the zone. A return to this zone would be, right, something like this. Price closes over here, returns, and we will enter the long. I would be able today to stream only for the coming half an hour. So I said I will live, right? Because I promised, but unfortunately it will be short for today. Tesla, okay, Sun is saying Tesla, let's check Tesla. In the meanwhile, so Tesla is going up, up. Yes, looks like we've missed the train on Tesla, but we are approaching all-time high, right, with the L Model 1. Okay, so we've closed, right? The news needs to be a red folder now, right? Should be a news that check, weird that it doesn't. Okay, so it looks like the news are really weak, or there weren't any news because of the market, the US government. But okay, so I see prices started to do the news now, right? This is why I'm not just longing after the sweep, right? Because let's say I have longed over here, right? with a very tight stop, then I would just get stopped out, right? We wait for a proper confirmation, right? Okay, so I see people are staking in the stream. So we have 24, 22 people watching. So we've built the leg, right? Now let's start the fib. Now this SNR isn't enough for us. Why this SNR isn't enough for us? In order to trigger sellers, right? So we want, right? Why do I wait for price to recover? Because I want retail to start selling, right? Then, but retail are selling only when they have a good position, right? So if price approaches this resistance area, right? As I'm teaching, we actually retail are selling, right? But not based on greed, right? So here comes advanced liquidity, that retail are selling only at the red zone, right? And they are not selling at the green zone, right? Green zone is discount, red zone would be premium. So retail are actually selling at premium. So we wait for a proper close at premium. So yes, so this looks good for a long. Just waiting for the confirmation. Right, so once retail, okay, so let's give it like this. So once retail are selling, okay, then this means they want to target the low and they have stop loss at the high, right? So this makes the low safe, right? Why it's safe? Because retail have their TPs over here, and this makes this high not safe, right, for retail. Right? Actually safe for retail, right? So they think price won't reach the high, right? They think this will happen before reaching this high, right? But what will actually happen, that price will just reach the high, right? With the low safe for us. I hope you've understood the semi explanation. Let's check gold. Okay, so we are in a swing position in gold, if you forgot, right? So this is my swing position. Okay, so gold is kind of bugging the link tree, but my position is like this, right? I've entered one long over here, right, with a stop like this, and one long like this over here. And positions are semi-stuck over here, right? And I'm basing the trade on this resistance area, right? That triggers liquidity at the highs. Right, so the first point I will take purchase would be at this high, right? So this is what I'm expecting from gold. So the not swing trade, I will take profits at this high. Right, this is my, right, we've taken the sell side, we've offered retail a chance to sell, and we have liquidity at the highs. So I'm expecting price to reach these highs before dropping towards the lows. So let's see what will happen with it. So NQ keeps on dropping. Right, while we keep on dropping, what this makes, right, it makes this, it will maybe make this SNR, right, we are seeing good, right, so it starts to make the, right. Now on the other hand, retail R might be shorting this SNR, right, even if we drop more towards these areas, right, then this SNR will actually be great for a confirmation, right, returning to it and then taking a long towards the high. So price keeps on dropping, right? See how important it to wait for the confirmation. Yes, Andrew, actually, maybe it's because the computer, right? I'm not using the Mac, I'm using the Mac, right? I'm not used to doing a live stream. So tell me if you can hear me better, okay? I slightly got my microphone closer. So we are keeping dropping. Good day, Sunil. Okay, Dave. So you should have told me this earlier, right? So we are having this fib now. Price keeps on dropping lower. So that's the importance of confirmation, right? Then we can base our low, right? Once price reaches this point, it bases our low. And if we see that price just keeps on going down without going to this place, this just removes our position, right? We are not placing endless positions in these areas, right? That's the beauty of confirmation, right? Happy you guys are hearing me better now. Okay, so based on the SNR, this would be enough for me, right? I want to see a close at this point. Once I see a close at this point, I will enter a long after short manipulation. Okay, so looks like we have started to pump finally. Right, I'm not getting excited on every pump, like not entering any longs on every pump. But again, I'm waiting for what I told you. Let's open the broker for the trade. Okay, so price has started basing the low, right? You see, 10 minutes to seconds to the close, 10 seconds to the close. Okay, so now I believe the second candle will do the push, right, towards this point. Once we have this push, we can wait for the manipulation, right? So this would be our Fibonacci. A close at the red zone would confirm the upside for us. Yes. So let's make it, since we've taken this one, let's make it like this. Let's okay. let's draw it for you guys. I want to see candle like this, like this. This is what I want to see. Okay, let's remove this one of the news. Not the best news, right? Didn't do anything. Okay, so again, I expect this candle to push. Right, I don't care if this candle on the next one. Right, I only care about this manipulation. Right, I only care about this stage. Right, once returning, I care about this stage. Right, this is the stage that I care about. Right, this is also the IFG we've talked about. I'm not trading with IFG, just to be right. I'm just waiting for this proper confirmation, and only once we have this proper confirmation I will enter my long, right, like this, something like this. Right, based on the manipulation, something like this. Okay, so we are pushing. Okay, so again, this candle, only if it closes at this zone, it gives us the confirmation to enter along on the manipulation. Okay, so the 5-minute candle closes not at premium, so we won't enter it. Unfortunately, I have to go in 15 minutes. So yes, maybe it will change. So maybe I won't be able to take it on live. Okay, let's see, Olivia. What bothers me? To be honest, I don't use deviation levels. I actually didn't learn them. Never, right, ever learned them. So I don't really understand you're saying. You understand? Okay, so we've got this push down. Don't care about it. Just Olivia, what gives me the liquidity? I know that if price goes to here, then we have buy side over here that we need to go towards it. Right? I don't really use the macros and deviations and all of this. So price is being aggressive to the downside. Again, you can ask me, Menda, why aren't retail shorting this support? Because it's not in premium, right? Retailer that wants to show this point, right, doesn't have any close swing high besides this one. Understand? You can't send it over here. You can send on X. Actually, I can watch it on X. On X, I can watch it. Okay. I've again lowered my voice. Okay. So probably stopped hearing me good again. So as you see, price didn't give us the confirmation. Looks like we keep running towards this point. And you can't do it. You can't send screenshots over here. Right. So price keeps on bleeding. Let's see this 5-minute candle again. Don't be scared of these candles. We don't care about all of this crap over here. We just care of how price reaches this resistance zone, right? We care about this move. Hopefully we'll see this 5-minute go up already, right? So you mean it's the testing of this point, right? Then now I don't care about this drop, right, to the 0.62 until we close, right? This candle can just go up, right? Only if it will close like this, then it will start to scare me, and then we have sell side did the low, right? Only if we close like this. Yes. So if price closes like this, and this red candle, then I would be worried about the low. Currently, I'm not worried, right? So you can say that if the 1 hour closes in 40 minutes, then if until the 14 minutes, right, the hourly close, right, at this point, if until 6 o'clock my time, right, it's about 11 o'clock New York, right, then I will be scared. Let's see gold. So stack, right? Stack. No new position on it, right? I'm just riding the one I have at the moment. Let's check Bitcoin in the meanwhile. Right, on Bitcoin, we can clearly see that we are resting on a support. Right, this support won't hold, right? Like in Ethereum, this is what I'm expecting in Ethereum. Right, shared it on Twitter. I want to see price continue the drop. Check EU. Same goes for EU. It's not ready for today, so I just didn't show you it. So let's stick with NQ. Right, nothing interesting. As I said, I will focus these streams on NQ. So it starts being some sort of low quality because we are starting to dig in this range, right? Wanted to do a quick move. I really don't like on how price, right, gives this retail position over here, right? Like this. I don't like this one. I really don't like this over here. That how price has made this support area and gave these lows. But in the end, our magnet is towards the upside, so doesn't really matter. But okay, so I see Oliver. Let's see. Okay, so yes, I understood that you are speaking about this one. So you think that we are giving retail a chance? So yes, I see. We've arrived to the minus 2.5. As I said, I don't use these deviations, right? I don't use them, but I don't really want to take this trade anymore. Basically because of how price has closed this zone. Maybe if we just go up, right? Yes, I see what you are saying, Divelani. Starts being a very low quality and also looks choppy, right? Yes, I understand, Olivia. I just don't want to say something I don't know, right? Because I don't use them. But yes, I won't take this trade, right? Also, I need to leave, and also I explain you now what I don't like. Right? So let's remove this one. If we take this Monday range and the bullish market structure range, we can see that price has closed at retail levels, right? So we actually can have liquidity at these lows, right? Then we can just go down and take it and then go up, right? This doesn't scream, this isn't an A plus setup, right? We have our target, but we don't have a good invalidation. Nothing says to me, okay, price doesn't need to go towards this low, right? I want in my invalidation, I want something like this. Like if price goes to this point, then it will go down, right? But that's not the case over here because we can take this low and go up. So this trade isn't high quality. So I will bypass it, and I won't take the long over here. And as you see, also the market respects the rules, right? So if we want to go down towards this low, look at how price didn't give retail a chance to sell over here, right? Before reaching these lows. So even when you don't have the best buys for the day, you can understand how to trade based on the confirmations. So I won't take this one. Also, I need to leave in 5 minutes. So let's use these 5 minutes for quick questions, right? If you have any questions about liquidity or something like this, let's answer them. So I see gold is going down a bit. Just stuck. NQ keeps on going down. So this will be the low, and maybe price will recover from the low, right to this point, like this. Right, recover, give retail a chance to sell over here, and along towards this high. Yes, I really don't understand this. Right, I just find liquidity, right, finding retail patterns and liquidity the best. So yes, you see we've dropped to the low. We didn't give retail a chance to sell. And if our bias was to the downside, this was by the book. Okay, so I see there aren't any questions. Um, so okay, maybe we'd have a long after taking this low, right? But unfortunately, I have to go. Yes, I have to go. I hope you enjoyed this one, right? I know it was really short and nothing really educating or charting or trading or anything like this, but I hope you enjoyed it and I have to go, and peace and see you tomorrow.